K&C Masterpiece back here on 105.3 The Fan. We're live on Radio Row in San Francisco, brought to you by Stella Artois and Tide. And right now, we bring to you Mike Golic Sr. We've had you on the show before. We've also had your son at Radio Row. So fantastic family of interviews.
I've really blown it by having to be called senior now. By my kid being in the business that I'm in, and B, quite honestly, going all the way back to me naming him that.
Yeah.
I mean, I really just had to look in the mirror to see whose fault it was.
Sure.
Right?
Do you think most people are pumped when they see the senior, or do you think there's ever somebody who's like, oh man, I kind of wanted the junior?
I think it's the age of the person.
Okay, yeah.
And plus, there are so many of the younger group that don't even know I played. And
they just know you for sports broadcasting?
They just know me that, or they just know me as Mike's dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, okay. That's what we are.
I've been in this business so long, there are those that remember me from the day to now know my son Mike more than me, to me just being the dad.
As the dad, do you still have the power to change his name? Can you go say,
no,
you know what, we're moving?
I've lost all power. Okay. We've done the show. We finished at ESPN, me, Trey Wingo, and Mike doing a show. We've done a show now a couple of times past ESPN, and the biggest, it's great, but between just you guys and me, not for public consumption.
Thank you.
The dude doesn't bend the knee enough to me. You know what I mean? I'm his freaking dad. I brought him into the world, and I can take him out.
Yeah.
Right? But no, there's no dad. You're always right. It's always fighting me. Always.
Do you feel bad about any of the opportunities you gave him to help him burgeon into a superstar and thus take away that advantage?
Oh, yeah. Without question. Without question. I feel I was somewhat helpful in getting, and he's done great work, obviously, on his own. But to get into the business, and where's the friggin' appreciation?
Yeah.
Well, this probably won't help. We appreciate him a lot. Last year at the Super Bowl, he was on with us for like 30 straight minutes, and he goes, I don't have another slot. Let's just keep talking. And so he was fantastic.
Dude loves to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, my second son, Jake, is like 15 months younger. They were born pretty close to one another. Jake doesn't talk as much because Mike took up all the air. All the air growing up.
That's how it happens.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we have our nieces and nephews, my wife's brother, they have 4 kids. And the oldest talks a lot. So then the second oldest tries to jump in anytime there's air, even if she's not ready.
Yeah.
So like when she was younger, she'd be like, I saw a red car, and I'm like, come on, Becca.
Yeah.
You got to have something ready if you're going to jump in there when Allie stops
Jake just
talking.
gave up.
Yeah.
Jake just like, I'm just not saying anything.
Well, I think the other thing,
that.
too, was in that second half of it, we said we're going to talk about snacks, and that's where we really got him.
Listen, food and the Golics are synonymous.
Which kind of leads you to why maybe you're at least partially here today. Like I can speak from experience with that. Can you tell us just real quick, because I have to admit I was not familiar with Stello by Dexcom.
Right.
Can you walk us through what that does, and unfortunately for some of us, how food might play a role?
So I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 20 years ago. My dad had it, and subsequently I got it. And back then, I just kind of ate what I ate, pricked my finger, and found out what my numbers were. Now, the Stello is there's no prescription. You can get it over the counter. Stello.com, you can find out all the info. Has an app, gives you real-time numbers for how does sleep affect your numbers, how does food affect your numbers, how does working out affect your numbers. And they now have a smart food logging, which they're going to start in a few months, where you actually take a picture of the food, and it gives you all the nutritional information.
Wow.
So now you know exactly what you're putting in your body.
Useful.
And I wear the glucose biometer, biosensor.
Which you can buy on the website.
Which you can buy on the web. You can get on Amazon, by the way. Again, it's over the counter, no prescription for it. It's for someone with type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, or just health and wellness. You want to know what you're putting into your body and have your number. So modern technology, here we are.
I love it. I'm glad that you're here to help people with that. But I'm also glad that we can tap into your sports knowledge, all right? And maybe candy bar knowledge, with Junior. Now, I know the Players Association has come out against this. I understand all the reasons why, but I still feel like we're living in a world where 18 games, regular season is inevitable, right?
Without question.
Okay, and pretty soon maybe.
So why the players act like they don't want it? Some don't, I'm sure.
Negotiating purposes?
But you know what's going to happen? Yes, it's negotiating. But what can we get for this in negotiation?
Sure.
It's going to happen. The first thing that should happen with it is there should be 2 bye weeks.
Agreed.
And then it's a matter of what the players can get. Personally, one of the things I think they don't realize while they're active is post-career insurance. Right now it runs for 5 years, which goes so quick. Get it for 10, get it for 15, get it for 20, get it for more.
How smart is Flacco for coming back to restart that insurance?
I'm telling you. Yeah, Phillip Rivers.
Oh, yeah, Phillip Rivers. I'm sorry, Phillip Rivers. Yeah.
Yeah, so things like that, that players should, but the NFL union has had a hard time getting everybody on the same page.
Why is that? A case of leadership? Because it felt like, look, I'll just be honest, my personal feelings, I feel like for the longest time they had the most ineffective leader in all of sports. Is that
it's a case of leadership, and it's a case of there's a lot of haves and have-nots that are looking for different things, right?
Yeah.
The lower part of the roster is looking for certain things. The upper end of the roster is looking for certain things. And unfortunately, I was part of the 87 strike where we walked out, we struck, and it didn't work. And we came back basically with our tails between our legs and 4 less paychecks.
Is that because so many people did eventually cross the line? Like, there
not only so many people,
stars.
The stars.
Yeah.
I was making, this is 2 years into the league, I was making $90,000 a year. My first year I made $62,000. By that time I was making $90,000. Guys who were making a few $1 million a year, they crossed the picket line. Absolutely screwed the foot soldier, which I was one of.
Yeah.
So that just blew up in our faces. And quite honestly, and listen, I'm always for players getting what they can get. But the NFL union, unfortunately, hasn't been as cohesive as, say, the baseball union.
And I'm glad you used that example, because the baseball union, and we're about to get a huge test of that in the next year, and we're going to see.
Never get a cap in baseball.
Yeah.
They'll never get a cap in baseball.
And Mike used to talk about their our old co-host Mike Bassick used to talk about their strength and how connected they were all the time.
And he said, because his dad also played Major League Baseball, it passed down generationally. Why is it seems like there is a disconnect there with football where they're like past generations,
It does, because, listen, there are haves and have-nots in every pro sport, even baseball. But they seem to really get it, to keep it together more than football. And I hope football can, now looking for a new, executive director and such, and so they're going through some changes. But, yeah, they need some cohesiveness.
If you guys were the players, would you try to play up the NFL's desire for the overseas expansion, whether it's a team or just playing more games? Because you get the sense that the NFL wants every team to play one overseas game. And so wouldn't you play that up as, hey, I'll play ball on that, but this is what I want in return? Well,
yeah, that's the whole part of negotiating, and it's a matter of how much you're willing to stick by your negotiating. If you negotiate and they call you on it and you don't
you're
penalize them somehow by stopping work or doing something, it's just an idle threat.
Yeah.
And they're not going to buy it, because they're going to be more. I mean, we're going to Paris, France now.
Yep.
We're going
obviously
to play
just
more.
Expanded to Spain.
Now, the one thing is the more money that owners make, more money is in the pot for the players as well, because of the revenue split. The salary cap is going to make another big jump, which players see, but not every player sees it, right? The stars and the better players see more of it.
Is football going too well then for either side to hold their ground and be like, I'm not playing?
The owners have always been able to hold their ground because they have deeper pockets than the players. Remember, if there's a work stoppage, the players are the ones not getting paid. Now, the owners aren't either, but what helps the owners is the big media checks that they're getting.
Yeah.
And again, it's a revenue split of 50-50, so players get 50% as well. But when checks stop, even for someone at that time who was making $90,000 a year, it hurts when you see a guy making more cross the line. There just has to be more cohesiveness.
And they have those oil derricks still pumping, so they're going to be fine.
Probably.
When I first heard you talking on radio, it was always this kind of idea of you were the former athlete, he was the fan. And, but as I would listen, I was like, no, he's a fan of this game. He's a fan of these things.
Yeah.
Every year, obviously, we're Cowboys fans, but every year I kind of find a new team, a new story that I'm like interested in. What hooks you whenever you're looking at the new season? What draws you in?
New players, players that have moved, how players are going to respond to a different coaching staff. There's always great storylines, and it's usually how they develop through the year. But a lot of it is, football so year-round with free agency and then the draft. The draft is such a huge part. And then to see where those picks go and how quickly they contribute to their team is usually one of the more fun things for me.
Yeah, that's like Sam Darnold right now. I've been a noted Sam Darnold hater, and now I'm having to
I love hearing you admit that.
The interesting thing with Sam is because Sam was the number 3 pick overall, he was always going to get a chance somewhere.
Sure.
And to his credit, he took advantage of it. 5th team and really hitting it now in the Super Bowl. He took advantage, but he was going to get chances being a top pick.
Yeah.
Well, we're so glad we got a chance to have you on.
It's great.
Stello.com is the place for people to be. I know busy schedule. You got to go. We appreciate the time.
No problem.
Very much. Good, sir.